Encapsulation is about protecting data inside the class. It means keeping data or properties and methods together in a class while controlling how the data can be accessed from outside the class. This prevents accidental changes to your data and hides the internal details of how your class works. Here we have a class person with name, age, and salary properties. In Python, we can make properties private by using a double underscore prefix. For example, we can make the age property private by adding two underscore prefixes to it. And when calling it through object P1, we can do the same. Now when we run the program, we'll get an error, person object has no attribute age. This is because private properties cannot be accessed outside of the class. Python also has a convention for protected properties using a single underscore prefix. For example, we can make the salary a protected property by adding an underscore prefix to it. And we'll do the same when calling it here. Now when we run the program, we'll actually get the salary displayed just fine. This is because the single underscore prefix is a convention in Python that tells other programmers that the property is intended for internal use. But Python does not enforce this restriction, and that's why we get the salary displayed just fine, even though it's a protected property. Now going back a little bit to private properties, like the age property, to access a private property, we can create what we call a getter method. So we can define a method like getAge that returns the age property. Now we can access a private property through this getter method, the getAge. p1 dot getAge. And we can see that we were able to display the age through the getter method. By the way, you don't have to prefix it with a get. You can actually just say show age, for example, and this works the same. Get is just a convention or a standard practice, but you can name it whatever you want. Now, to modify a private property, you can create a setter method, the opposite of a getter method. The setter method can also validate the value before setting it. For example, we can create a method setAge that checks if the age is positive or not, and then we can set the age to a different age than the default age. For example, p1.set age to 26, and when we run the program, we'll now get 26 as the new age. Now, since the setter method setAge validates if the age is positive, we can check against a negative age that the user might enter. For example, negative 26. Now when we run the program, we'll get age must be positive. Of course, the 25 here is getting printed because that's the default that we pass in here, 25. Otherwise, the validation is working through the setAge. So as we've seen, among the benefits of encapsulation is that we can validate data before setting it, and we have full control over how data is accessed and modified. By the way, instead of putting validation directly inside the setter, setAge in this case, we can separate the validation logic into its own helper method to make the code reusable and cleaner. In this case, we've extracted the validation logic into a separate validation method called validateAge that returns if the age is positive and returns it. Otherwise, it returns false, and we call this method validateAge in the setter method. Otherwise, it prints invalid age. So here we're setting an invalid age to -5. So we should be expecting invalid age as the output. And that's exactly what we get here. Of course, we've ran a couple of tests here before that, where we are getting the default age from the argument passed here, 25, which works. It's greater than 0. And also setting age 26. But when we try to set it to a negative age afterwards, to try to modify it once more, we get invalid age correctly. We can also make methods private using the double underscore prefix. So we can add two double underscore prefixes to the validateAge helper method to make it private. And of course, do the same when calling it here in the setter. Now, when we run the program, you'll not notice anything different because we're not really calling the private method outside of the class. So this is fine. However, if we try to do that, for example, p1.validateAge 50, for example, and run the program, we'll get an error. Person object has no attribute validateAge. And again, that's because validateAge is now private in the class. So it cannot be accessed outside of the class, similar to private properties. You may be wondering, how does adding double underscores to properties like age or methods like validateAge here make something private? Well, when you use double underscores, Python automatically renames it internally by adding underscore class name in the front. So essentially, we call this name mangling. Python mangles the name, so age in this case becomes underscore person, the class name, followed by the age private property. So we call this a mangled name. And the same thing for the validate method. It adds the person class name in front of it and followed by the method name, validate age. So this technically works. The mangled form works. If we run the program, we'll see that. We get 26 and true as the output. So the mangled name works. So while you can access private properties and methods using the mangled name, it's not recommended. It defeats the purpose of encapsulation.